Hello everyone, thank you for coming by Perspectives Edge to check out the Astrological Weekday Weather Report, which is exclusive here on YouTube. Followed by that, we will have an in-depth tarot read about any aspects or anything in particular that we need to focus on for the week. With that being said, I will jump right into it. Today is Monday, November 1st, and first thing this morning, we woke up with a moon in Virgo, where we just felt a little bit more push in order to get things done, to be more efficient, to have our list all lined up, and the things that we need to do, and how we go about it, and regular routine, right? Or if it's not necessarily regular routine, it is bigger issues that we need to streamline, right? Moon will eventually be going into Libra, where we're going to try to find more harmony in our relationships and our careers and our hobbies and things of that nature. But all along this day, we're going to have Moon squaring Venus. And Venus is in Sagittarius, accompanied by the South Node. What does this mean for us? With Moon being our internal state, we just have to keep in mind that Venus is looking for adventure. She's looking for a journey. She's looking for other people such as herself that is intellectual and want to learn from life experiences and enjoys the optimistic view of liberty, right? And with Virgo trying to streamline that list and us further along the day with the moon in Libra trying to find harmony in these things, we need to keep in mind that everything that we have plans for and the things that we want to take along with us on this journey is not necessarily going to be accommodating. If not accommodating, we can't take it at all. It's going to take up way too much space. So we need to streamline what it is that we need to take along this journey. What is important to us? What relationships, what decisions I need to make as far as my career, you name it. We do have the opportunity of coming down this journey and it being familiar to us, South Node and Sag. But this time around, we're going to be able to make better informed decisions about what we need to do so we don't fall into the very same pitfalls we have in the past. That is Monday. On Tuesday, we have Moon trine Saturn, Mercury square Pluto. With a Moon in Libra still, we're trying to find our harmony, but it having a trine to Saturn, we're going to be able to have more structure, more plans, a firmer foundation, and the support we need in order to deliberate amongst ourselves what we actually need and how we can go about structuring these harmonious person, places, or things in our life. However, we're going to have pressure put on us with the way we think and express ourselves with people that have a higher ground or a higher authority or authoritative period. They're telling us, you need to do this, you need to do that, this is what needs to be done. But I will say breathe and just ground yourself and be focused in your main goal. Who gives a shit about who has the upper hand? I'm not saying that everybody that does have the upper hand has the worst intentions for you, but ultimately you know what it is that you want your life and the journey you're about to embark upon is going to look best for you. Some of these people are not going to be forever partners. Some of the job positions that we take is not going to be that forever job. So why not make a decision that's best for you, not the other? If you find yourself making decisions or trying to rush your process, it's going to get sloppy and you're going to be stuck with decisions that you've made out of haste that you're going to regret later. Just know what you see for yourself, you're trying to streamline for you. The people that are supposed to be there, the job that's supposed to be there, the hobbies that you want to get into, and the interests that you want to see later will be a part of your destiny and your path. Just stay the course and don't let scary boogeymen in your life make you make decisions that are not best for you. That's Tuesday. On Wednesday, we have Moon trine Jupiter in the AM, and then we have Moon conjunct Mars in the PM. Whew. Jupiter, we're going to feel a little bit better. Did the aspect of Mercury squaring Pluto go away? No. But we're going to have a lot more boost of energy and being more optimistic and thinking about our social constructs and feeling better about the decisions that we've made. But with Moon in a house, not a house, but Moon in a sign that is not very comfortable in, Scorpio, we're going to be more paranoid. We're going to be more intuitive. We're going to be more discerning. We're going to be more inclined to investigate and probe our own feelings. And not only us, but we're going to have other people doing that to us. With Moon in conjunction with Mars, just keep in mind that the way that you feel, don't act impulsively. Don't act impulsively. Take the time to breathe. Second guess what it is that you're feeling initially, because it might be paranoia. You might legitimately feel that way, but even then, that doesn't mean act immediately. Think about it. Mars does the detective work. It does the probing. It does the searching. It does see beyond the surface. So if you're upset with a boss at the job and they pissed you off, don't send that initial email. Write an email first, get your initial feelings out, and then turn around and follow it back with something more appropriate that you want to be able to express yourself in a more thorough way. If it's not the boss in the email situation, no different than your children, your best friend, your boyfriend, your mama, your daddy, it doesn't matter. Be mindful, because Mars is in a sign of dignity, and it's going to be able to do what it wants to do in a very covert way. This feels like revenge, to be honest. It just popped into my head. Somebody pissed you off, and opposed to just like, bam, punching them in the face, you might say, you know what? Let's play checkers. Better yet, chess, and get them later. Is it necessary? When you can just sit with yourself a little bit, reevaluate your own feelings, and then move forward. That's Wednesday. Not Wednesday, but Tuesday. No, that's Wednesday. On Thursday, we have Saturn square Moon before we have the new Moon in Scorpio. Saturn square Moon, this is going to feel like pressure where we are right now. It's a different type of pressure from Mercury square Pluto, because this is people with power over, making you second guess yourself in the way that you think, in the way that you in the way that you communicate. However, with Moon, you're going to have people literally poking at what it is that you've been trying to structure in your life. It's not going to feel comfortable. People are going to ask questions. You're going to have questions about yourself. You're going to be going back and forth about what you should do and this and that and the third. Moon is a fast-moving luminary. You might feel that way for a couple of hours, but see if it passes. See if it passes. Later on, you're going to have the new Moon in Scorpio. And literally, we're going to have two groups of people for this new moon and how it's going to play out. We're going to have Moon, Sun, Mercury at this point, I believe, and Mars, all in Scorpio. And we're going to have Saturn and Jupiter and in Aquarius. And then in direct opposition, exactly, we're going to have Uranus in opposition to that new moon. What does this mean for us? Our actions is going to line up with the way we think and how we're going to feel on our internal selves and our egotistical selves. It's all going to be in Scorpio. Mars, Mercury, Moon, and Sun. We're going to have the ability to be a lot more discerning. Some people are going to be paranoid. Some people are going to be able to use the detective work that Scorpio is so very profoundly known for in order to dig beneath the surface to see things for what they are. However, If you're on a high end of that, you diligently doing the work and stepping behind and seeing things, observing and paying attention and digging a little deeper and asking the probing questions and trying to figure out what makes sense to you. You're going to hit that golden ticket. You're going to find it. That's Uranus and Taurus. It's going to bring some more stability. It's going to bring a present supplies. It's going to be a shock. It's going to be an opportunity for you to leverage. However, if you're on the low end of that, then you're going to be one of those people that took that same energy, but opposed to using it for your benefit, you're going to be digging in areas that you have no business digging. You're going to be pleasantly surprised at the landmine that blows up in your face. And you're going to find yourself trying to play catch up with everybody else with trying to fix a situation when you should have just left it alone. Some people are going to diligently find what it is that they're looking for. Good, bad, and indifferent. Scorpio's trying to change or turn the page when it comes to our direction in life and the journey that we're trying to embark upon, right? But some people are going to get a delay with a landmine that blows up in their face, and then there's others that's going to be able to have that golden ticket. They're going to be happy for the work that they've done. Look at where Taurus and Scorpio fall in your natal chart, and that will give you more idea of what that is. You can sit down and you can think about it all day, but Uranus is very unpredictable. I call it the mind of God. You will never be able to figure it out. You can never put God in a box. You might think that you know what's going to happen. You might have an idea with an area of life where it's going to go down. However, with all this energy in Scorpio, don't center it or funnel that energy in being controlling about the outcome of whatever it may be. Let it go. Let it go. Karma's going to play its own part. Whether you're going to run into karma or you're going to run into dharma. It's going to be two groups. And you'll know exactly where you stand once you get that shake up, that aha moment, whatever that may be, in the terms of Uranus and Taurus in your chart. Whew. Thursday. That was Thursday. Friday. We have a handful of things going down. We're going to have Mercury totally in Scorpio right now. We're going to have Venus in Capricorn, which she's going to be there for the next 5 months. Let me give you a quick rundown of what Venus in Capricorn is. It is values. It is tradition. It is laying down firm foundations when it comes to how you give and receive love and how you go about your interpersonal relationships. It's looking for somewhere for it to invest, where it can plant a tree and be stable. It's a beautiful aspect. Over the course of the last few months that I've been doing these astrological weekday weather reports, we went from Virgo, where we were prioritizing self, to Libra, where we are trying to streamline who is in our life. What job should I take? Where should I go? What hobbies should I drop? What should I add? You name it. We were prioritizing stuff in Virgo. We were put to the test in Libra. Now, Scorpio season is definitely going to give us that opportunity with Venus and Capricorn at the end of the week to be able to use that extra energy to lay firm foundations for ourselves in these areas. If you got a new soul tribe, what is it that you can give of value that will help the longevity of these relationships? You know, where can you make it more stable for you and the other? Where can you show up and be a great asset to your job? You know, we're figuring these things out. And with Venus and Capricorn for the next 5 months, until March of next year, we're going to have more than enough time to figure it out. Venus is going to go retrograde, and then it's going to go direct again. So even if you happen to set out a plan right now and it doesn't work out the way that you want to, Spirit is really giving us a time to rehash that, to get it right. To get it right. As harsh as things have been this year, and it's only going to turn up every day moving forward to the end of the year. God has given us grace to actually check ourselves, and in order to facilitate the means in order to help co-create a future that will best benefit us and, how we show up to the collective. Mercury and Scorpio is going to give us a little bit more oomph when it comes to that, because we're going to be able to ask the right questions. We're going to be able to dig. We're going to be able to investigate. We're going to be able to discern. We're going to be able to observe our surroundings, to put the fine details where they need to be in order to make this foundation a firm one. North Node will be going into Taurus. Taurus is the first house of values, and how we go about making money and our own possessions and esteem and, our traditions and our ethics is Taurus. But if we don't do what we need to right now with our interpersonal relationships and or finances or, hobbies, then when we get to that North Node in Taurus, the foundation we're building on is going to be a shaky one. And you're going to find yourself crumbling down the line just to rehash and redo exactly what you set out to do now. Take your time, or take this time in order to do it right. Pay attention. For the next 30, 40 days, don't quote me on that, Mercury will be in Scorpio, where you'll be able to cross your T's and dot your I's. Moon square Jupiter. Moon conjunct South Node eventually. It's how do we make the best out of our situation? Some people are going to run into that landmine with this new moon. And then other people are going to run into unexpected, pleasant surprises. Regardless if you're on a high end or low end of things, we have to make the best of what we got. The cards has been dealt. What are you going to do with your hand? Are you going to complain about it? My biggest advice for you all this week when it comes to the astrological weather is, don't be discouraged. God gives us an opportunity to co-create with Him to try to best facilitate the journey that we want to embark upon. But keep in mind that even with the plans that we have fixed in our heads, doesn't mean that there's going to be something or a monkey wrench that's thrown in a way that's going to make you have to adjust that. Whatever your expectations may be, adjust them. Because we're all going to be shooken up in some way, shape, form, or fashion when it comes to what that looks like for us. Whether you're on a high end and it's a pleasant surprise, or the low end is a disaster. We're going to have to adjust. But if we do not release those expectations of what things are supposed to look like, then we're going to set ourselves up for a hefty fall. But it doesn't need to be that way. Whether you're on the low end or the high end. That's this week's astrological weather report. Let's get to the tarot. Let's get to the tarot. What cards do I want to use? The Urban Tarot deck. I shuffled these cards beforehand. I'll give it a couple more shuffles so you guys see that I shuffled on camera and I'm not rigging anything. I love these cards, but they're so flipping long. It's hard for me to hold them. is that this message should be concise, it be clear, and practical, and that it falls upon the ears of those who need it and those who need to see it. All right, people. Let me split the deck. Central issue. Oh, Ace of Cups. This is spiritual renewal. This is an opportunity in love. This is purifying. This is cleansing. You know, we do have this new moon coming in Scorpio. We're turning the page. In this case, we've been talking about the journey in life. You know, people are making real decisions about the soul tribe they want to be with, whether that be with friends, family, co-workers, you know, the job that you're supposed to be at, and, you know, feeling firm about this journey we're about to take. God has given us a real fresh wind when it comes to the decisions that we're making. For those on the high end, it's going to be a beautiful blessing. How that's going to show up for you in particularly, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there. I don't even know how it's going to show up for me personally. I just have a couple of variables. You know, Uranus is in my 9th house. Okay. Uranus can be in the 11th house for you. It can be in your 1st. It can be in your 7th. It can be in your 5th. Who knows? Just don't close yourself off from the fresh renewal, you know, emotionally that Spirit is trying to give us. This is what we're trying to facilitate even before this full moon. This is where we currently stand. You know, we're feeling okay about the decisions we've made. You know, I like to see this. I just don't like it, but I love it. What's the block? Ooh, luxury, 4 cups. We're not pleased with the opportunities that we've had thus far. Every opportunity, every memory, every situation happens to seem exactly the same. We do have South Node in Sagittarius where we're embarking upon this journey, and it looks very similar to what we've had. However, God has given us the opportunity to make better decisions this second time around. And because, you know, our journey might look very similar to what we've already just came from, doesn't mean that we can have a better outcome. Don't be dismayed. Don't write yourself off. Don't write that job off. Don't write that opportunity. Don't write that potential relationship off because it happens to look like the same old shit. You've leveled up from the last time until now. And with that being said, us leveling up, even if the opportunity happens to look very similar to something in the past, you're in a place where you can make a better decision on the outcome of what it will be this time around. Don't let this discourage you. Heart of the matter, 8 of Cups in reverse. We are not letting go of the old shit that we ran into. We're harboring and we're fixated on sad memories, all the work we put into something, what we need to let go, and what we invested our time, and it's no longer working. Scorpio is the sign of death and decay. It's also the sign of rebirth. We can't move forward emotionally trying to get that Ace of Cups. The next card after this is the 9 of Cups. Where we leave the stuff behind and we're actually going towards the things that we want, our own personal wish fulfillment. But if you stay stuck, harboring and being fixated in the old shit that didn't work, you're never going to be able to walk towards that new opportunity of hope. Get beside yourself. Let the old things die. In the past, 7 of Swords. This could be a myriad of things. This can be on the low end. This could be people that have been shady. about their dealings. Liar, cheater, thief card. You know, on the high end, this can be people that were being very strategic. They were looking at their situations and being stealthy about the moves that they were making. They had to be emotionally detached in order to do so, in order to move forward in the plans or the route that they are taking in life. Some people have been sloppy. Some people were smart. Above it all, the Tower. This is definitely Uranus in Taurus. This is the new moon aspect that I spoke of. We're going to have a shake-up. The Tower is not always bad. It's not always good. I will get more information on this to see what this unexpected shock, surprise, epiphany, download, spiritual gift, whatever it may be. Business contact, I don't know what this is. But it's going to be a shock to you. It's going to be a shock to the system. Near future. Ace of Swords in the upright. I absolutely love it. Ace of Swords in the upright. I've been talking about the two groups. If you're on the low end, you're going to be running into real truth and what that is. If you're on the high end, you're definitely going to run into some truth. You're going to get an epiphany. This is communication. This is a download. This is truth. What more better than truth? You're going to face it. You might have to face it in a real raw way. We are in Scorpio. But it's truth. For those on the low end, it might burn, but you'll still be thankful for it. For those on the high end, congrats. In the approach, the Sun card. Coming from that epiphany moment, the Ace of Swords, that truth, we're going to be able to have illumination on what it is that we are doing. That path that we are really not sure of. We just know that it looks very similar to what we've already been through. We're going to be able to hold that sword of truth, and it's going to illuminate what it is that we do next. This is the happiest card in the deck. If you're on the low end and you have to start from ground zero, at least you know now. You're going to thank your lucky cards that you didn't go 3 years down the line and you realized that the way that you've been going was wrong. Or, if you're on the high end, you're going to be able to blissfully move forward with the blessings of you're on the right track. It's not as hard. You've done the work. You're going to be blessed for it. You know who you are. You know where you stand. And if you don't, thank the Scorpio new moon. It will definitely let you know where you stand. The unexpected. Opposition. Oppression. Burden. Like I said, we're going to have plans about what it is that we want to take with us on this journey, but we can't take everything. Whether that's a person, place, or thing. We can't take it all. And little do we know, because this is the unexpected, it's heavier than necessary. You have to trust yourself that what you are able to take along with you will be exactly what you need. You have to use your discernment. You have to use your intuition. You have to dig deep. You want to investigate. You don't have to look beyond the surface. Spirit is trying to help you and I with dropping a burden that we don't have to carry anymore. It brings me right back to this 8 of Cups in reverse. We are not walking away. Some people are stuck here. And Spirit is trying to show us that we don't have to be here. As long as you drop it, whatever it may be. Hopes and fears. This is definitely a fear. That what we've been doing up until this point will not work for us. We won't have the cooperation. We won't have the people on our side to help build us along to where we're trying to be. All Libra season, we were trying to figure out our interpersonal relationships, where we stand in our career, in our hobbies, with our best friends, our family, our lovers. We'll definitely know what's for us and what's not. If you're on a low end, you'll definitely see who is not working for your benefit. And for those who have been doing the right thing, you're going to have confirmation that you're on the right path. But don't let this impede on what you know is right and correct for you. Because you have every sign around you showing that you are supported in your direction moving forward. How do you know this? The Uranus new moon will let you know. The Uranus new moon. It might as well be called that, but it's the Scorpio new moon. That tower moment, that unexpected whatever it may be for you that comes up in your life, even if it happens to crumble. I said for the advice this week, we're going to make plans for ourselves, but that doesn't mean that we cannot, be mutable and changing our plans when it's necessary, especially when unexpected things happen. But don't let doubt override every decision you've made. Okay? What's the outcome? The Hierophant. The Hierophant. This is faith. This is big organizations. This is government. This is doing the right thing. Doing the right thing. Doing the right thing does not look like doing the right thing for everybody else. Doing the right thing for you is what Spirit is trying to get you to. We live one life and one life only. We don't live the life of our children. We don't live the life of our parents. We don't live the life of our interpersonal relationships, whether that be love partner, co-workers, boss, whatever. You have to make the right decision for you. We're supported. We are supported. Don't lose sight of your faith. Don't lose sight of your faith. We don't know exactly what this journey has to show us along the way, but if we're already pessimistic about what we're doing, we're going to literally run into the manifestation of that. Keep your head up. The bottom of the deck, the Dominion, Two of Wands. We're Wheel of Fortune in the upright. Yes. We're going to be able to be at not only at an impasse, but wands are action. We're going to be able to diligently make a decision on where we want to go next. And if you're on the high end of things, you're going to be able to be blessed along the way. The outcome said, I said, do the right thing. You'll be blessed. Have your faith. Move forward. But don't get stuck. Spirit is trying to get us to move. We can't stay stuck. We can't stay stagnant. Things have to change. And unfortunately for a lot of us, change is happening in a real wrong way with Uranus and Taurus. A sign that it absolutely hates. And it's going to be there for some time. So this adjustment that we all have to make right now with Uranus and Taurus, get used to it. Because we're going to continue to shift where we stand, where we've been fixed for the next 3.5 to 4 years. Why not take the time and opportunity that God has given us to co-create with Him in order to ensure the future that we want? God is trying to bless us along the way. But don't be stubborn. Don't be stubborn. There we go. What do I want to clarify? What is the Sun card? What is the Sun card about? What is the deck, Five of Pentacles. A lot of us had to cut a lot out of our lives. The Five of Pentacles is literally feeling left out in the cold, not asking for help when you need it, feeling less than. Us that are diligently trying to make the right decisions and do the right thing in our lives. This Sun card is going to be a confirmation that we're going to be able to step up out of this space into this space. We've been left behind at a place of loss and lack and suffering to a place where we're abundant. Our vitality is coming back. It's the happiest card in the deck. And for those who have been on a spiritual journey, it is hard. It is hard. Sorry for the ugly cry face. God is trying to get us here. And as difficult as it's been, the hard work will pay off. Don't lose faith. What is this Ace of Swords? I just want a little bit more information. What is this Ace of Swords? Two came out. Ah, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. The Hangman and the Hermit. This is Virgo and Pisces axis. We've taken the time to go inside. With all those retrograde planets over the summer, we had time to reevaluate self. We were taking the time to do the introspection, to get that epiphany, that aha moment, that different perspective, the knowledge that we've already had within us in order to find this epiphany. We've been doing the work. We've been doing the work. This is also the axis of service. For a lot of people, God is pulling us to a place where we'll be able to be an attribute to the collective. Spiritually, Pisces. And practically, in our day-to-day, Virgo. We'll get that aha moment, that epiphany, that extra help, that contact, that fresh renewal situation. The current situation is the Ace of Cups. This Tower. A little bit more information. This Tower can be anything for anyone, but what can we overall say about this Tower? Temperance in reverse came out. This Tower is going to be a pressure point, not necessarily coming to you or an external source. It will be you flipping your lid. Flipping your lid. This is trying to take as above, so below, so within, so without, and trying to balance it all. Trying to make gold out of lead. But it's a process and it takes time. You have to be patient with the process. But if you try to rush this process, you're going to blow a gasket. You're going to blow a gasket. And if you blow a gasket, what good is your car then? On the road that you're trying to take on this journey. Tower tried to come out again. Use your intuition. Hypothesis. There's secrets that we don't even know. Either we have to use our intuition, or Spirit is saying it's not for you to know. Spirit has told us just enough in order to move forward. On this journey called life, we're not going to know what the final destination is going to be. We just have to trust that every step along the way on this GPS we use via intuition is going to get us there. We wish that we had the outcome. We don't. We just got to trust that whatever it is that we're leaving behind in cups, it's going to be for our benefit. She's actually the counterpart to the Hierophant. Keep the faith. Some things you won't know. It's not for you to know. But use your intuition now, because you know what doing the right thing looks like in order to get to your outcome, or to at least get going on the path that you're starting to take. One more card, which is Oracle. I'll pull one, but if Spirit wants two, I'll take two. Top of the deck. Work. I'm now available to receive all I can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on this planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source, and all prosperity will provide. Our hard work is going to pay off. We're going to move from feeling unwanted and lack and scarcity to a place of abundance, vitality, happiness, joy, bliss. But we have to make sure that we do the right thing, and we definitely have to be in tune. I literally said the Hangman and the Hermit. This is Pisces and Virgo. It's the axis of service, not just for ourselves, but the collective. Our lives are much bigger than ourselves. And when we are in tune and we're doing what God has deemed us to do on our journey, we're going to be able to be a benefit to the collective. It's not all about you. Will it benefit you along the way? Absolutely. You know, if we demand benefits from our regular jobs, you best believe it. God is going to shower you with benefits too. But you got to be able to put in the work and do your part. That's the Astrological Weekday weather report and our in-depth tarot card reading. I thank you so much for taking the time with me and getting through my ugly cry face and all that other jazz. You can follow me. You can subscribe. You can give a like. That would be amazing. You can also follow me on all my social media outlets, which is Perspectives Edge across the board at on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. If you want any services from me, I am an astrologer. I'm also a tarot card reader, and I provide those services on my website at perspectivesedge.com. Hopefully this reading overall was a benefit to you, and you'll be able to take these words and insert them where they may need it in your life. And whatever has not resonated, disregard. take the glitter, take the gold, and make the best of it. Thank you so much. Until next week.